the bugs. Yum, yum. Adrenochrome so good. Population control. Jawohl, jawohl, jawohl. Thank you for your sacrifice. I despise you. Adrenochrome so good. New World Order, New World Order. Population control. Yum, yum. You will eat the bugs. We need a great reset. Jawohl, jawohl, jawohl. You will own nothing and be happy.
Ha-ha! Spider-Man! What's cracking, baby? Woo! Hey! Where you going, Spider-Man? Woo-hoo! Ha! You're getting the girl. Saving the day. Yeah! Go, Spider-Man!
If they're into computer stuff, go to the one place that has it all, like Spider-Man the computer game. There's something fun for everyone at Best Buy.
Go get him, Spider-Man! Yeah!
We're gonna reclaim getting pegged.
Boring. Yeah.
We're gonna reclaim being cocked from the woke left, buddy. Trod polycules rise.
Sorry. We're on full fentanyl now. You die, America. Translate. You die, Americans. Africa too. It's China's property. Oh, we tell you to lock down. You starve to death. You scared of virus, but you starve to death. Chapang chang wanga hakangi pong. Chamangi wanga honga katonga pato. Starve America. Starve Europe too. Kill the Africans, kill them all. Chaping chang wang chang pang chang yong. Pong chang wang wang dong dong dong. We found the Antifa Maoist group. Ha 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 ha. We love Hillary too. It's so damn fun. You're so damn scared. Wear your mask and prepare to die. Chang wang chang chang pong chang yi. Dong dong long bong bong geeky. We love LeBron James. He's so good. Death camps, organs of students too. Kill the Muslims, kill the Christians, kill the Buddhas, liberal lovers, ping chow wang chang bing tong kong, bong dong long chong tong da tong. Bill Gates loves us, he does so good. Take our vaccines and die like you should. Shang wan pong pong bing pong pow. Jing no huang huang quang chow chow. Chang pong tong tong ja ping pa chi. Down with Trump, up with Xi Jinping. Xi Jinping, he kill you now. Take the shots and learn how to die. Die, American scum. Ping, pow, ping, po, pang, chakang. Chang, chong, ching, pang, dong, bagong. We own your dead, your media too. Ha, 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 ha. It's time to die. Take your shots and roll your eyes. Liberal good, wear your mask. I'm your Chinese communist king. Pong, chang, wang, pong, ching, pa, quang. Wang, chong, ping, quang, pong, chakong. Guang, chong, King Kong, Pong, Chakwan.
Nightmare, nightmare, nightmare.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Hopefully you can hear me okay. For whatever reason, I cannot hear OBS today. But yes, I am back. No Japonica this week, and probably never again. She seemed to do a good job guest hosting, but she was bullying me on my own stream, and we can't have that. The Jones song is so good. How you doing, Wink? It's good to see you, man.
Welcome, valued customer!
Yeah, cracks me up every time. Ooh. Sorry we're a little late. I saw some news about Trump apparently allowing transgender surgeries, and I had to see if that was an actual thing, and it kind of is. So, yeah, prepare for that. I guess we're going to have to talk about that. But yeah, so we got, oh, geez, we got a whole bunch of stuff I want to talk about today. And it's all completely insane. But I guess we can start with something a little bit positive. Let me see if I can find it here. Oh, hey, dude, how you doing?
The more the magicer.
You're gonna swap to another stream when they talk about the Real Game Awards. They're gonna trash it? Did you mean to type this in the side-scrollers chat? Because I'm not planning on talking about Real Game Awards. But okay. So we got a few things here. Let me... Yeah, probably best to just dive right into the topics because we got so much stuff. So let's start with something positive. Yeah, because I don't want to bring you guys down too much here. Let's pull this up. Oh, I stream at the same time as Side Scrollers on Thursdays? I thought Side Scrollers streamed at noon Eastern time. Like, I thought they would have been wrapped up by now. It seems like my time slot is the same as Owen Schroyer's. Oh, Gronkin Gaming. Okay, I'm not familiar with that channel, actually. When someone says Gronk, I think of Rob Gronkowski from the... I think he's retired now, but he used to be on the New England Patriots. Alright, so here's a little good news. So, apparently there's this National Video Game Museum. Very cool. They have acquired the prototype Nintendo PlayStation. So if you guys don't know the history of PlayStation, originally, PlayStation was going to be a joint venture between Sony and Nintendo. So Nintendo originally was trying to commission a CD add-on for the Super Nintendo. They were going to be working with Sony to create this, and then they basically screwed over Sony, and that pissed Sony off so much that they went and made an entire console of their own, which would turn out to be the actual PlayStation. And Nintendo, on their end, eventually made the SNES CD with Philips. But originally, they did apparently make some prototypes, and this thing called the MSF1, as they say, it's the oldest known existing Nintendo PlayStation hardware artifact, and is the original development system for Sony's planned Super Nintendo CD attachment. It's the only known unit to exist, so it's extremely cool, and I'm very, very happy to see that this very important piece of gaming history is now in good hands with, you know, a group who's going to take care of it and preserve it the way it should be. So I just thought that was very cool, and I felt like sharing that with you guys before we get into some of the doom and gloom here. Lethal Lightning's gaming podcast that actually talks about games. Okay, gotcha. I haven't seen that guy since he was on since he used to host something out for Geeks and Gamers way back in the day. Don't let that Nintendo PlayStation go through US Customs. Yeah, I know what you mean. I think... So these guys are in America, so I'm guessing that however they obtained it. Frisco, Texas. So I would assume that it was already here in America, thankfully. Yeah, customs is... Pretty much everything government is full of retards, so... Yeah, if you have to deal with the government in any capacity, you're gonna get screwed one way or another. Exactly. Hey, Random Rolls, how you doing?
Oh, hello there.
Sorry, since I'm not Japonic, I can't do the hi thing that she did for her hellos. But so you get Shrek. Yeah, they would stomp it. Oh yeah, I mean it's like the TSA too, right? Like if you ever have to deal with them, whenever you fly somewhere. They're full of retards. Fractured Filter, how you doing?
Valued customer.
Faggot? You trying to say faggot? That's okay, you can say whatever you want here. as long as YouTube doesn't filter it. Yeah, so we were just talking about how this National Video Game Museum has acquired the original Nintendo PlayStation prototype, which is extremely cool, and I'm very happy to see that it's in good hands. So just a little bit of good news before we charge headfirst into crippling depression.
Oh, hello, American.
But what part of this is shocking to you, Fractured? Did you not know about the Nintendo PlayStation, or are you just shocked that they preserved it? Either way, I'm very happy to see this. If I ever, where is Frisco, Texas? Anyways, is Frisco anywhere near Dallas? Now I'm curious. I'm just curious because state of Texas, part of Dallas, Fort Worth. Damn, I have some family out in Dallas. I think it's Dallas. If I ever go visit them, I am going to drag them to see this. I knew about the Nintendo PlayStation. Shocked it got into the hands of a museum for preservation, though. That's good. I gotcha. All right. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah. I'm very glad. So, yeah. So I have some family out in Dallas. I haven't been down there since my grandpa passed away a couple years ago, but. Yeah, so if this museum is out in Frisco, Texas, then next time I go visit those relatives, I am going to try and drag them to take me to this video game museum because I really, really want to... I would love to see this museum someday. So, yeah, it looks like they do some very, very cool stuff, too. Looks like they're... Oh, you're seeing the... Oh, I got you. You were going to the Gronka Gaming stream when they talk with Game Awards. I got you. Oh, man. Now I'm kind of curious. Part of me wants to stream snipe this Gronka Gaming stream dude's talking about just to see how they shit on the Game Awards, because... yeah, I don't like shitting on side-scrollers too much. I like... You know, Craig seems like a good guy. I don't want to shit on him too much, but I do think it's a little bit sad the way that they handled the Game Awards this year. Just, I mean, because they did it the same as last year, where it's just like a pre-recorded stream, effectively. Now, I know when they originally did it, it was a live stream, but even then, it was just like Craig apparently sitting in his usual studio, just talking. And it's not like... apparently, even the guest appearances were pre-recorded. Which is a shame, I think. But I even made a little shit post that I'll show you guys here. If I can find it. Let's see, here we go. Link. Hopefully this comes through. No. All right, let's see if that. There we go. Here we go. So this is my little shit post here that I was using to make fun of the Game Awards, or the real Game Awards, as they call it. Briscoe, the bastard child of San Francisco. They do call it that. Some people do call it that, don't they? No, but no. Thankfully, this is the Frisco in Texas. So nowhere near that shit. Nowhere near the literal shithole that is San Francisco. On weekend pre-games, we ripped into the Game Awards last year, so this one's equally as disappointing. Sad. Yeah, at least last year, it was like, you know, they had the excuse of, hey, it's their first year, they're putting it on for the first time, they probably don't have a ton of funding for it and all that. So you can kind of excuse it being sort of a simplified show, right? But if you're, this is the second one, and they even, had all these people, they sold tickets to it, they flew all these people down there for like a big event. And it's like, if you're gonna do that, then it really should be like a stage show with, actual people coming out. Like, they invited the Melees on, for instance. They should have had these people come in person. And I understand they have like their VTubers and stuff, so they can, they would have to figure something out for that. maybe that could be pre-recorded, sure, understandable. Or even just like a call-in or however you want to do it. But for people like the Melees who, they show their faces on stream and they were literally there during the Game Awards, the whole thing really should be done as like a live stage show instead, rather than done as like a done as just like Craig in his studio with a bunch of pre-recorded segments. So yeah, I didn't really watch much of it, and I think it's a little silly to make it a premiere if it's just a. I mean, I know that's a thing on YouTube, but I've never liked the premiere system on YouTube. I use it because it's a thing now, but yeah, I've never liked that. It's either if it's not a live stream, there's no point. But yeah, in light of Game Awards, don't need them. Oh yeah, I'm 100% there with you. Game Awards, in my view, are just like it's just like the Oscars or anything else. I use Game Awards as a great indicator of what games not to play. So if a game wins the Game Awards in the modern day, I actively know I probably shouldn't play this game because I'm going to hate it. It's probably shit. And this year especially, the game that got the most award, I actually didn't watch much of the real Game Awards, but I know that the Dorito Pope Awards, at least, I should definitely avoid the game that won most of those awards. Turns out they were laughing about the memes before they read some chat. I gotcha. Well, I got a meme for you as well, dude. I posted this in Discord yesterday. Yeah, and like I said, I don't like to shit on Craig too much. He's a nice guy, but where's Japanico? You mean Japonica? Yeah, so I told Japonica, she can't guest host. She can't guest host anymore. Because she was bullying me on my own stream, So I can't have her doing that. Can't ever doing that. Oh, also.
The more the magicer.
I almost forgot to give you a hello. How you doing, Paul? Oh man, that Cuphead stream last night was insane. You really you had a real DSP time, didn't you, man? Dark side, Paul. Sergey, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, hello there.
We got Patty Quinn in the house as well. How you doing, Patty Quinn?
Valued customer.
You grabbed my meme and posted it in the Discord server? Well, I'm torn. I don't know if I want credit for this meme, because, like, I made the meme, and on the one hand, you make a shit post and it goes somewhere, you want credit, but at the same time, if, I don't know if I want everyone to know that I made this to shit on Craig, because like I said, I feel a little bad shitting on Craig, They love to shit on Craig like the grifter is. You think Craig's a grifter? I mean, I will say there is something grifty about turning the Game Awards, the real Game Awards, VOD, I guess would be the term for it. Turning the real Game Awards VOD into a premiere after you've already done the stream and everything. There is something grifty about that, at least I will say. But I don't know. I don't like shitting on people unless they give me like a hard reason to shit on them, So I don't want to go straight out and call Craig a grifter yet. But Side Scrollers Game Wars, 30 minutes, cost tens of thousands of dollars. Did it really? Company Boys did a 7-hour Game Awards for free. Yeah, you guys did your what you call it, your annual performance review. Yeah, and I mean you guys also in your favor, you guys did a premiere, but you guys had never streamed your actual performance review thing. So when you premiered it, it really was an actual premiere. It wasn't just like a VOD of a live stream that had been shown to people before. Let's see. I didn't say who. Okay. Yeah, no worries. But by the way, I should probably explain this meme just in case you guys don't get the reference. So you guys remember the Willy's chocolate experience from a couple of years ago. It has a Wikipedia. I didn't even know it has a Wikipedia page. But this is the reference that I was making when I did the Craig's gaming experience. It was Willie's chocolate experience, and the whole thing turned out to be a complete. They used all these AI generated posters and stuff, and it turned out to be a complete disaster, a complete shit show, and all those poor kids and their parents were so disappointed. But yeah, so that's the reference here. So I'm like, I think I want to say it was Rodney who said something that inspired me to just go make this. And I was like, you know what? This really kind of is how the real Game Awards were presented when you think about it. Company boys deliver quality at a low price. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Paul, you think Craig's a total grifter too? Jeez. Oh man, the real Game Awards that you have to pay to vote in? Really? You had to pay to vote for the real Game Awards? I didn't know that. And then squander the money for a lazy pre-recorded award show. Yeah. Like, I don't know if it's... Personally, I don't know if I would call him a grifter. I would just say... I could just say this was really lazy. That's the term I would use for it. But, I could... It could certainly be grifting, too. But, yeah, to me, personally, this just looks like incredible laziness. That face looks like the famous DSP detractor Alt Insider. Who's this guy? Alt Insider. Let's see. Is DSP. Who's let's see. Video unavailable. Oh, of course. Is it this guy? Guess I tried to see it. That being said, okay, that being said, podcast. I gotcha. Well, I'll just take your word for it. I'll just take your word for it. Originally, this gave me like a big fat guy, and so I had to tell. I just used ChatGPT to make this. So I had to tell ChatGPT, make him thinner and a bit younger. Oh, it is that guy. Second guy. I gotcha. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I kind of see it. But yeah, I didn't give it a picture of Craig or anything. I just said, I think I just said like a guy in a baseball cap. Because Craig always wears the baseball cap to hide his Zoomer haircut. But Paul's song is still used in the intro and he's calling him a grifter. Yeah. Well, I mean, Paul did do an absolutely, he did do an absolutely banger job with that intro. Although I still think Paul's best song still has to be that D-Day song that I use in my intro and break music. Yeah, Paul's a great composer. Paul's a great musician. Yeah, an annual fee to vote, and some people are paying... Of course, it's the epic leet number, isn't it? Some people are paying $1,337 a year to vote. Good God. What? Should I just start grifting? Like, should I just start grifting and then just make like thousands of dollars a year? That's kind of insane. Like that much a year. I mean, what do you get? Just some extra live streams, basically? I swear, what the hell? Yes, you have to pay to make the categories and add games to those categories and then vote. Good God. Okay, I think... I did not know enough about how this thing was set up. But I think, yeah, okay, if that's the case, then yeah, I am coming around to you guys calling him a grifter because yeah, I can see that now. There are a lot of There are a lot of decisions he's made that do fall into the grifting camp, but I'm always hesitant to just outright label someone a grifter, but that I think there is enough evidence now to say, yeah, that is very likely. He uses the ball cap to hide his hammer implants that he got with the money from the first award show. Is it hair plug? Does he have hair plugs? Agreed. Yeah. I don't know what you're agreeing with, but I appreciate you agreeing with me. What is with Craig's new hair plugs? He looks like a fellow kids guy. Yeah, so he has like this. I don't know if this was before or after, but I saw him without his hat once, and he has like the most zoomer haircut ever. It's not like the broccoli hair, because he has straight hair, but it's the same kind of Hitler Youth haircut that seems to be popular. But is it hair plugs? I thought that was just his hair. I didn't realize he got hair plugs. Jeez. Yeah, dude, your music's great, man. I miss your music streams. You should do more of those sometime. Smash JT paid the leap payment. Oh, good God. Like, I like Smash JT. He seems like a nice guy. But good God, does he fall for these things way too much. I mean, he also spent all that money to go to the Dorito Pope Awards. And I mean, why would you go to the Dorito Pope Awards? Like, I mean, have fun and all that, sure, but I question his idea of fun if you're going to the Dorito Pope Awards. Now, if they put a 7-hour show for that amount of money, I'd understand, but it was only 30 minutes, too. Like, I clicked the link when Kay posted it, or after Kay posted it, while the premiere was going on. And so I looked at it for about 2 seconds before closing it, because it was just Craig in his studio, and I'm like, that's it? I didn't realize it was also only 30 minutes. I mean, good God. Paul sucks. Go fuck yourself. Yeah, I kid. Yeah. Dude's right. I made music for those guys, and I stepped away because it felt too grifty. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. I mean, I haven't watched them in a long time, and the reason I stopped watching is because Alex Jones streams at the same time as Side Scrollers. And, Alex Jones is my Yoshi. I gotta watch Alex Jones. But, yeah, I know they've brought in a lot of, people and tried to grift off of them. Like other people who are not actually part of their show, too. So, but if you paid to join Side Scrollers Plus, then you got to pick the categories, the games, and vote for free. I guess that makes sense. They really want to get people on Side Scrollers Plus. I think the problem with a lot of things like Side Scrollers Plus and so on is most people, grifting allegations aside, most people do not want to pay to be on all these little individual platforms. It's like all the streaming services, like how we started off with just Netflix, and now it's Netflix and Paramount Plus and Disney Plus and HBO and Amazon and Apple TV and all that. And Hulu. Well, Hulu's going to be folded into Disney at some point, but it's the same kind of thing, the fragmentation. People really don't want to have to be on a million different platforms just to watch individual people. And especially for like YouTubers, like for Alex Jones is a little bit different because, it's InfoWars, it's like this big operation and everything. But for most streamers, they're just not big enough to justify most people wanting to go to a separate platform to get their extra content. So, for me, that's the big thing. That's why I would never really want to do like if I ever blew up, that's why I'm not going to make any promises. But I don't really see much value in making, for instance, a Nightmare Plus, if I ever did that. Because people don't want to go to like your own individual platform to pay for specific content. It's better off if you just use something like Locals or whatever it is that everyone's using. and just do like memberships and things like that there. So that way, when people pay for one thing, they get, they can pay for various creators that they want to support on that platform. So there's actually more value to using that platform, and you're more likely to convert to a sale, to use the sales terminology. Hell no, that's not his hair. That shit is way too thick to be natural and perfectly aligned. How old is Craig? It's like 40-something, I assume. I assume he's somewhere around the same age as Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. Oh, you were agreeing with me on Paul's music. I gotcha. His Ultra Combo is another banger. I should give that a listen sometime. You guys like Smash GT? Something feels off about him? Personally, I like him. I used to watch him a lot. I don't watch him as much now just because, when I started streaming, it's like, I don't want someone else to influence my takes. Personally, I do like the guy. I think he's a nice guy, at least. He's always come off like a nice guy. I will disagree with his takes sometimes, but, I know a lot of people think he's a grifter. Maybe. But, yeah, it's hard to say. I know that during his lawsuit, because he's getting sued by Alyssa Mercanti. I know that his lawyer apparently dropped the ball on objecting during discovery. So, there's that. Oh boy, the Melees had to do some acting to present a category for the award show, and it was pretty cringy. Well, they're not really actors either, right? The Melees are best when they're like raw and unfiltered. Whether it's James screaming about Highguard or Kay cursing up a storm about Felicia Day, whatever it is. They're more fun when they're unfiltered and when they're just like off the chain, so to speak. The live stuff had some more things, at least according to the people in the Melee Game server, but none of it outside the video they played in the venue has been released. Okay, I gotcha. That makes sense. Really? So Craig said during the first year of Side-Scrollers that there would not be a Side-Scrollers Plus and talking about CNN Plus shutting down? Oh man, you're bringing back some memories, dude. You're bringing back some real memories. That's crazy. Because I watched Side-Scrollers on and off during the first year or two. And I'm embarrassed to say that I did send a super chat once. That was, let's just say Melanie Mac was on their stream at the time, and I think it was like it was around the time they had finished up their first year. I sent them a super chat that was really just meant to be a butter pun. But the joke was basically simping for Melanie Mac. But I just sent it because I wanted to make the butter joke. The joke was, "You butter be my Valentine," because there's this old 4chan meme of Paula Deen riding a stick of butter as a Valentine's card. And I just really wanted to make the pun. That was really it. And because she's like obsessed with butter, I think. Side-Scrollers Plus is locals, isn't it? And Patty confirms that it's locals. Okay, so that's a little different. I don't really see why you need to call it Side-Scrollers Plus then, instead of just calling it, the locals. But okay. Nightmare launching Nightmare Plus comes with bonus access to your very own AI girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah, your very own totally retarded AI girlfriend that you have to keep fixing all the time. Oh, Craig's even older. He's close to 50. Craig explains why he's such a boomer sometimes. Smash GT is going to lose that lawsuit and it's going to give Mercanti more time in the spotlight than she deserves. Really? You think he's going to lose the lawsuit? Because I don't think, unless the judge is some like activist judge or something, I can't see Smash GT losing the lawsuit just on the legal principles themselves. Because there is no... They're both public figures, right? And it's extremely hard to prove defamation of a public figure because there's no actual malice here that you can prove. An actual malice, it's not the same thing as it would be in a colloquial definition of I hate you. malice, but actual malice meaning you meant to cause this person substantive financial harm or substantive harm in some way. And I just don't see that in the proceedings. But I do think that Discovery, because Ron Coleman apparently has dropped the ball in so many ways, I do think that Discovery is going to be a real problem for Smash JT. I think that's really where the problems are going to come out of. Grifters can't stop talking about each other. I gave a ton of money that first year, but most of it was during the gaming streams. Yeah, I sent him super chats. I remember they did like an experimental stream once. I don't know what the point of that was, but they were testing out like TTS for for donations. And I kept sending in toilets just to screw with them because it was funny. I like Side Scrollers first 2 years after they interviewed DSP. Yeah, the DSP interview is actually what got me to like Craig quite a bit in the first place, because he did. Craig did do a great job when he interviewed DSP. I think Krigler was kind of a pain. Like, I think Krigler kept jumping down Phil's throat, and I found that counterproductive because that kind of got Phil to sort of retreat. But when Craig would just like ask him pointed questions and sort of like draw him out, and he would just like DSP dig his own grave. So I thought Craig was actually a pretty good interviewer. That's where I met Dude, Neo, Melee, Gino, pretty much everybody. Yeah. So I found a lot of people through Side Scrollers as well. That's how I found that is actually how I found the Melees too, actually, now that I think about it. Although I think most of the other people I met through the Melees themselves. But, Smash's lawyers fucked up way too badly. Yeah, Ron Coleman has dropped the ball very badly, which is kind of surprising considering what a, like, prolific law firm he works for. Yeah, it's very surprising how badly he's messed up this lawsuit. Starting to come around to a lot of your points, but in my opinion, I still give Craig credit to what he's done. Sure. Plus the VTuber stuff, how are they going to show up live? It goes against the point of VTubers. I did mention that earlier. So I was saying for the VTubers, you could have them either, call in via some kind of live stream or via like Discord or something, or you could still have them do pre-recorded segments just for the VTubers. Or you could even put them on like the little, you can even put like a little screen like they do at some of those conventions and just have them show up there. Do something silly like that. But the point is, you could do it. And the fact that it's not a stage show just makes the whole thing come off underwhelming and disappointing, I would give subs quite often back then. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I super chatted them a lot back in the day. Turns out they're doing a parody award show laughing at the Real Game Awards. I can watch that later. Oh, boy. I was a fan of Craig back during Screw Attack. I was on that website all the time. That's where my game covers came from. Oh, nice. Nice, yeah. I did not... I don't know if I was too young or if I was just, like, too sheltered. Not really allowed to do a whole lot on the internet or anywhere when Screw Attack was a big thing. So I only found Side Scrollers through Geeks and Gamers because when they were first kicking off the podcast, Geeks and Gamers were actually they were actually letting Craig stream Side Scrollers on the Geeks and Gamers channel once a week. So I found the Melees there through them posting that they were doing a Fall Guys community event in SS Discord. Oh, nice. Yeah, I saw them show up on Side Scrollers once or twice, and then I actually just had the Melee Games channel recommended to me by YouTube. And I remember James was playing Katamari Damacy, which is just it's a fun, relaxing game despite the chaos of the game. And so I was just like, hey, I remember this guy from Side Scrollers, so I clicked it, and it was like, oh yeah, this is kind of fun. It's just kind of a chill hangout stream. And now the Melees have like grown massively too. So, but But yeah, that's just my thoughts on the whole real game awards, so to speak. It comes off kind of like the Willie's chocolate experience thing, so that's why I made this shit post yesterday. But I got reintroduced to Kay and James thanks to Static 2020 inviting him on a pregame, and I remember Kay, especially from the Gamergate days. Nice. Yeah, I didn't follow Gamergate. Like, I followed Gamergate back in the day, but I didn't follow it closely enough to know Kay or, anyone like that. I mostly just followed it, like, tangentially. So I didn't really know any of the key players outside of, like... I knew of, I think Total Biscuit was one of the people involved. But aside from that, I really only knew, like, Zoe Quinn. So... All right. I think it's time. I think it's time to get into the doom and gloom. So we're going to start with... let me close these tabs here. We're going to start with Farquaad's announcement here. So, February 28th, that was, what, Friday night? Saturday night? What was the 28th here? It's already been so long, I'm forgetting. Saturday. Speaking of the Melees, watch their waifus channel. The next time you give James a naughty game, I got a special treat for you. Oh, boy.
Hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas in 44 days. In 1983, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels.
There's a specific part of this that he pretty much says the Farquaad thing. So
in international shipping, slaughtering more than 1,000 demonstration that this terrorist regime can never have a nuclear weapon. They wanted to do it. They didn't want to do it. Again, they wanted to do it. And we can't take it anymore. Instead, they attempted to rebuild the means to deliver their message. For these reasons, the United States military is undertaking a massive and ongoing operation to prevent this very wicked, radical dictatorship from threatening America and our core national security interests. We are going to destroy their missiles and raise their missile industry to the ground. It will be totally, again, obliterated.
And if you remember, they did do strikes last year that supposedly did this already. So the question becomes, why exactly do we need to do it again? Was last time a complete failure then?
We're going to annihilate their Navy. We're going to ensure that the region's terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region or the world and attack our forces and no longer use their IEDs or roadside bombs, as they are sometimes called, to so gravely wound and kill thousands and thousands of people, including many Americans. And we will ensure that Iran does not obtain a nuclear weapon. It's a very simple message. They will never have a nuclear weapon.
So first off, they've been saying Iran's 2 weeks away from a nuke for like decades at this point. And on top of that, Iran already has nuclear weapons. They don't have ICBMs, which is like the traditional nuclear missile that we think of. So like they can't target America that way, but they already have nuclear weapons otherwise. Like short-range nukes.
This regime will soon learn that no one should challenge the strength and might of the United States Armed Forces. I built and rebuilt our military in my first administration, and there is no military on earth even close to its power, strength, or sophistication. My administration has taken every possible step to minimize the risk to U.S. personnel in the region. Even so, and I do not...
Oh, here we go. Here's the quote. Here's where he goes full Farquaad.
...make this statement lightly. the Iranian regime seeks to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now. We're doing this for the future.
So there we go. There it is. There it is. There it is, right there.
In war, but we're doing this to kill. The lives of courageous American heroes may be lost, and we may have casualties. That often happens in war. But we're doing this not for now.
So, as President Farquaad said, the lives of Americans may be lost, but we're doing this. Yeah, this really just comes off as, some of you may die, but that is a sacrifice I am willing to make. Israel keeps saying Iran has nukes. I don't know, though. I think the Jews... Well, Israel has nukes, by the way. Israel has nukes. And like I said, Iran has nukes. They just don't have, like, ICBMs. So they can't target us, but they can target Israel. And the thing is that the Ayatollah, who is now dead, he had officially decreed, a fatwa, their religious fatwa. He had decreed that they would not be using their nukes. They would not be using the nukes. And they killed him. So now, whoever replaces him, that restriction's not on that guy. So Iran could now use nukes. Think of all the kids we'll save somehow. I think maybe, or something. Whatever. Oh yeah, I mean, if anything, this is killing kids, right? All these strikes. You know it's not just the politicians that are being killed in these missile strikes. Steal that oil. Pull up the Takashi meme. I stole that. What is that? Oh, Takashi 69. Gotcha. I don't know. I would be afraid to get copyright claimed, but that's a whole video. But yeah. I mean, oil is a part. Well, oil is actually more so what Venezuela was about. So Venezuela, we now know. The reason they went into Venezuela was not freedom or whatever. We finally know that the drugs. The real reason was so that they could take over Venezuela's oil. And that oil is now being sent to Israel. So speaking, not sure what's going to happen, but I kind of understand thousands of innocent Iranians did get killed by the Islamic Republic. No. It has nothing to do with those people. Nothing at all. The Islamic Republic could be slaughtering their entire populace, and it would not have anything to do with the American. Trump would not care if it were not for Israel. That's kind of the point. If this were not on behalf of Israel, the Iranian government could have been slaughtering their entire population, and Trump would do nothing. So, in fact, let me pull this up. So we actually have video footage of Secretary of State Little Marco admitting what the cause of this was.
The United States conducted this operation with a very clear goal in mind. I haven't got a chance to see a lot of reporting. I don't understand what the confusion is. Let me explain it to you, and I'll do it once again as clearly as possible. Perhaps you'll report it that way. The United States is conducting an operation to eliminate the threat of Iran's short-range ballistic missiles and the threat posed by their Navy, particularly to naval assets. That is what it is focused on doing right now, and it's doing quite successfully. I'll leave it to the Pentagon and the Department of War to discuss the tactics behind that and the progress that's being made. That is the clear objective of this mission. The second question that's been asked is, why now? Well, there's two reasons why now.
This is the important part.
The first is it was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond and respond against the United States. The orders had been delegated down to the field commanders. It was automatic, and in fact, it bared to be true because, in fact, within an hour of the initial attack on the leadership compound, the missile forces in the south and in the north, for that matter, had already been activated to launch. In fact, those had already been pre-positioned. The third is the assessment that was made that if we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties. And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they...
So you hear that? Hear that? Let me play that one more time here.
We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack.
Yeah, so keep in mind, Iran didn't attack anybody first. He says, we knew there was going to be an Israeli action. In other words, they knew Israel was going to do something. And because Trump is Israel's bitch at this point, he basically knew Israel was going to attack no matter what he said. So he decided, okay, well, we're just going to get involved also. So yes, Israel has dragged us into this Iran war.
You slam that, yo. This.
Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard alert!
Yeah, that's a possibility. Could be a distraction of the Epstein files. Oh, we'll get to that. We will get to that because there is some stuff coming out of there. Epstein files say Trump was taken over by Israel. I don't know if that's in the Epstein files necessarily. What a mixed bag. Yeah. If we went into Iran due to them killing the protesters, why aren't we going to into China for the Uyghurs? Yeah, exactly. Why aren't we going into China for the Uyghurs? Why aren't we going to, like, I think Bangladesh has something similar going on, so on. He's always been Israel's bitch, pretty much, but now it's becoming abundantly clear. Yes, they are deleting Epstein files now. They are. Thankfully, Gmail has them archived, although Gmail search is terrible. But yeah. Yeah, Mossad is watching. Yep. Dude has a point. Yeah, dude has an excellent point. Yeah, absolutely. Ironically, you know what's funny is China is actually helping Iran. By the way. And we'll get to that too. But since you brought up Mossad here, let's let me pull up a little something here. So this is what they think of us. So this website JFeed, which is Jewish news. Carlson, Fuentes, and Owens must be jailed inside a World War II style internment camp. In other words, because Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens and so on. Oh, and Uyghur. Oh, Cenk Uyghur. Because these people are effectively protesting the Iran war, this guy thinks that we should have internment camps, detention camps, for speech. They're guilty of inciting mutiny among soldiers, aiding the enemy, cowardice in the face of the enemy, demoralization. Oh, and this guy is actually in support of the Vietnam War, apparently. Isn't that amazing? So yes, the chosen people want anyone who's against the Iran war thrown in jail. China helping the Islamic Republic, not Russia. So Russia, I believe, is on the side of Iran. You know, that's the whole BRICS thing, right? China, Russia, Iran. I don't know. Saudi Arabia is on the other side of this, though. But yeah, China and Russia are generally aligned. And I believe Russia is also on the side of Iran. Yeah, 100%. Look what they did to Tucker Carlson after he interviewed Huckabee in Israel. Totally, yeah. So they were screwing with him the Israeli security people, they dragged 2 of his producers into effectively interrogation rooms. So for context, Tucker Carlson flew to Israel to interview Mike Huckabee a few weeks ago. And after the interview, the Israeli security people, they dragged 2 of Tucker's producers into interrogation rooms and tried to interrogate them on everything that Tucker Carlson said in the interview and so on. And it was completely insane. And like, they were actually going to hold them until after Tucker Carlson's plane took off. And to his great credit, Tucker was like, no, we're not leaving until we get our people. You know? Completely insane. And Huckabee himself is completely insane. By the way, so as of now, I haven't checked today, but I did do a lot of this research yesterday. So we have a lot of Americans stuck in Israel, stuck in the Middle East. Oh, wait, what? They take this down? Oh, that's why. Sorry. Somehow this... Ah, that's why. Please, we will... There we go. So a lot of Americans are stranded in the Middle East. Flights have been canceled, naturally. So yeah, a lot of Americans are stuck all over the Middle East. Not just Israel, but all these other countries. Bahrain, Egypt, Iraq, Israel, Iran, West Bank, Gaza, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Syria, and Saudi Arabia, the UAE, and Yemen. Yeah, and so Americans are just being stranded out there. And yeah, as they're saying, it feels a little disheartening to feel abandoned by our own government. Meanwhile, right here, the British government scheduled flights by their Air Force to extract the citizens of the UK. Meanwhile, the State Department, for us, is doing absolutely nothing to help the Americans stuck out there. In fact, yeah, and here's another article about it. Our embassies are doing absolutely nothing, by the way. Yeah, so more than 2,800 flights were canceled. Yeah, everyone's terrified. Yeah, and so they're being told, yeah, so we can't help you, even if you're in Israel. We can't do anything. Maybe you can take a bus to Egypt. But yeah, nobody... You know... But everyone's kind of just on their own. So America is doing literally nothing to help the Americans stuck here. Because America is not the government's priority. Our government's priority is Israel. So here, I will show you Huckabee's official statements, by the way, because Huckabee is our ambassador to Israel.
You might be in Israel right now. This is Mike Huckabee, U.S. Ambassador to Israel, and I know and the U.S. Embassy. It's very important. This way we can contact you with updates to go to guiding bus service, and it will give you exact instructions of how to register for STEP. In addition, the Israeli Ministry of Tourism is providing bus service from several locations, Herzliya, Tel Aviv, Taba, just across the border in Egypt. And from there, flights could be available from the Taba airport, though they're limited flights.
Flights could be available. We don't know because we don't really care. But, you know, maybe you can get a flight out of Egypt if you take a bus.
But also ground transportation would be able to be obtained in Taba to go on to Cairo, where the airport is operating normally. We continue to advise you to Pay attention very close program today. That's not as longer, a little more, and second, a lot of we're just wanting that's what we do, and take shelter when that's called for.
Yeah, so either take a bus to Egypt and hope you can get a flight, or just take shelter. Just take shelter.
That's what we do at the you to do. We're working from home, and we hope that all of this will be over soon. But how grateful we are, take cover.
Okay, and so there's a text-based statement as well, which is important here, because I just want to emphasize how little they're actually doing for America. So he says, there are very limited options. We're getting a lot of requests regarding evacuating from Israel for American citizens. Let's see. Here we go. The U.S. Embassy is not in a position at this time to evacuate or directly assist Americans in departing Israel. Meanwhile, the British government is using the Air Force to extract the British people. So yeah, just remember, this is what your government is doing. This is what our taxes are going to. They're not going to saving Americans. Oh, by the way, we're already seeing Mossad planning to do false flags to get other countries in the war here. Yeah. Oh, it gets worse. It gets so much worse. So take a look at this.
It really, really hurts these countries, and Israel wanted to hurt these countries. That's the point. Wanted to hurt these countries.
Not American. That's disgusting.
Wanted
Absolutely.
to sow chaos and disorder.
So he's talking here about the other Middle Eastern countries like Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and so on. But pay attention to what he says here.
Because they are rivals of Israel. So it's probably hasn't been reported, but it's a fact that last night in Qatar and Saudi Arabia, authorities arrested Mossad agents planning on committing bombings in those countries. Now, that's weird. That doesn't make any sense. Why would the Israelis be committing bombings in two Gulf countries, which are also being attacked by Iran? Aren't they on the same side? No. No. Israel wants to hurt Iran and Qatar and UAE and Saudi and Bahrain and Oman and Kuwait. And they've succeeded. And the third thing you would have to do.
Yeah, so Israel wants to false flag. I think he said it was Qatar and UAE or Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia, yeah. So Israel was going to false flag Qatar and Saudi Arabia to draw them further into this war with Iran. Because Israel wants to be the only power in the region. And it just gets worse and worse. Apparently, so I couldn't find a great video source for this, so just bear with me here. This is a Facebook link, of all things. So, if you guys are not aware, in the 50s, the coup, the CIA... Well, let me back up. In the 50s, there was a Shah in charge of Iran, but the people of Iran actually had a democratically elected leader. And in the 50s, the CIA and MI6 staged a coup to overthrow the democratically elected leader and put the Shah into absolute power. Now, then in the 70s, people got sick of him and overthrew him, and that's how you got the current Islamic Republic. But this guy, the Shah, that we're about to hear an interview with.
Surely, Your Majesty.
He was, in other words, the guy that was put into power by the CIA in favor of Israel. is going to tell you that Israel has too much control over our politics.
Your Majesty, you're not telling me that the Jewish lobby in the United States pulls the strings of the presidency.
They are strong.
Strong in what sense?
They are controlling many things.
Controlling what?
Newspapers, medias,
Your Majesty.
banks, finances, and I'm going to stop there.
Well, now wait just a second. You really do believe they make the media reflect their view of foreign policy?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The New York Times, for instance, is owned by the Salzburger family. Are you suggesting that the New York Times is biased in its treatment of the question of Zionism, Israel's existence, the United States' relationship with the Arab world?
You can put this to the computer and it will answer you.
What you're saying is that, yes, you do believe.
Well, let's wait for the answer of the computer.
Washington Post?
The same.
I must say you are speaking with your characteristic candor.
Yeah, so there you go. And this is the guy that was put in place by the CIA in the first place. The guy's supposed to come back and become leader again? No, he's dead. This guy's dead. This guy, he's dead. You're thinking of his son. But yes, if he comes back, and there's no indication that he would even be put in charge right now, he's in consideration, but it's not likely because there's no appetite for him right now. But yeah, it's the son. So yeah, they are considering it, but right now it's too chaotic to even put anyone in because he would just be overthrown immediately. But yeah, so even the guy who was put in place by the CIA on behalf of Israel, he says they have too much control over our country. Right, so what else is there? Ah, yes. So yes, it's going to keep getting worse here. I have even more horrifying things to show you. So this happened, I think, just yesterday. And I don't really need to show the whole video for all this. But basically, there's this former Marine. And he was protesting the war in Israel. Or, excuse me, the war in Iran. He's protesting Israel. And they broke his arm.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does not want to fight this war for Israel. Let's go. Come on, let's go.
See, these the congressional security just dragged him out of there, beat him up.
America does not
just for protesting.
Its sons and daughters, the war for Israel. Your inability to name that.
You see that he's in his full military uniform, and it has been confirmed that this man is a Marine, or at least
shows your inventiveness as leaders.
This should show you how much respect that the people who run our country actually have for our soldiers.
Out. This is wrong, Dom. And nobody wants to fight for Israel.
So they beat this guy up.
Just a reminder to all our...
Show you the second part here.
Does not want to fight.
Okay, so this is the aftermath. Hang on, I got another one here. The tab.
Israel is the reason for this war. America does...
There's another one. See? You can see them just like beating the poor guy up.
Commandant, please stand up as a Marine and stand up for America.
So he's just trying to stay in the room, basically. And even the actual senator here shows up and starts helping beat the guy up.
What's the fight for Israel? Oh my God.
They literally broke his arm here.
Oh my God.
Sir, thank you for your service.
Oh, thank you for your service.
The senator broke his hand.
Oh my God.
Sorry, does that hurt? Can you open it up a little bit just to like change the gap?
Hey guys, clear the hallways.
Out.
Clear the hallways.
Out.
Clear the hallways.
Nice and
Please.
easy.
Clear the hallways, please.
Can you help him, please?
Yes, yes. Other places go in that. Please clear the hallways.
What happened?
Yeah, so it's like, oh, just please clear the hallways. They literally just beat up a guy, broke his arm. They're just like, oh, clear the hallways.
Oh my God, what happened? His hand got totally smashed.
Palestine will be free.
And what about this war in Iraq?
Yeah, this guy is yeah, he's a Green Party candidate, pro-Palestine, as you said. Yeah, still looks really bad. Well, yeah, because this guy is still a Marine, right? He's a former Marine. And they just beat him up like nothing.
His arm.
Okay.
Ah. Israel, we do not want to die for Israel. Stop. And our military brother.
Yeah, so there you go. Interesting to think about, but the Iranian people don't want another dictator, though. Not sure which side I would choose. Right now, I mean, one way or another, they're going to get a dictator. They're either going to get another religious dictator, you know, because keep in mind, the Ayatollah is also, he wasn't just their political leader, he was also kind of like the Pope for the Shia Muslims. So either they're going to get him, or they're going to get Puppet, who is run by Israel. I remember you aren't supposed to protest in uniform. Yeah, I mean, that's fair. But either way, you probably are not supposed to beat up someone who's peacefully protesting either.
Free Palestine. Fuck the war in Iran.
You're free to record, but we You're free to record.
America does not want to fight.
You guys are free to record all you want, but we're just asking you to please cooperate with us. Just go behind the line.
America does not want to fight this war.
So yeah, they beat up this this Marine veteran. And lest you think this is the worst thing that's happened to an American soldier in the Iran war so far. Oh, no, no, no. As of yesterday, at least. Yeah, they beat him up for freedom of speech. Exactly. Because freedom of speech is only there so long as you're not questioning the government, apparently. Or questioning Israel, really. That's what it is. Oh, yeah, and they're calling this Operation Epic Fury, like there's some kind of Fortnite dancers. Really, it should really be called Operation Epstein Fury. Let's be real. Or Operation APAC Fury. Well, yes, so the government so far has confirmed that at least 6 American soldiers have been killed. So yes, the Iran war has now, at least as of yesterday when I looked this up, the Iran war has killed at least 6 Americans so far. At minimum. And how about I introduce you to one of them here. This is one of them. So this 20-year-old kid from Iowa, he was one of the soldiers that was killed by this war. He was 20. And everyone goes, oh, we feel so bad. Oh, boo-hoo, as though they actually care about any of this. I'm not even sure that Trump has even commented on a single one of these soldiers who's died. So I don't think he cares. I really don't. I don't think he cares about anyone dying in this war at all. And just to be clear, more than 50,000 American troops. I hate the way that they talk about this stuff. Just say soldiers. Troops is so vague sounding. But more than 50,000 soldiers have been deployed in this. So that is 50,000 Americans who could be killed in this war so far. And, by the way, we may actually get troops in Iran. I just want to be clear about that. Trump won't rule out sending U.S. troops into Iran. So he goes, I don't have the yips with respect to boots on the ground. Like every president says, there'll be no boots on the ground. I don't say it. I say probably don't need them, or if they were necessary. So yeah, Trump will happily send more Americans to their deaths into Iran itself. If he feels like it. And by the way, this war, they thought it was going to be over in like 2 days. It's not. This is going on for a long time. In fact, let me take you to our puppet president's Truth Social post here. Now, most of this is unnecessary. As he says here, wars can be fought forever and very successfully using these supplies. In other words, Trump is pretty much admitting that this is a forever war. This is the next forever war. This is our new Iraq, our new Afghanistan. Whatever you want to call it. This war is not going to end. It's not ending anytime soon. And so there was this interview that Tucker Carlson posted yesterday. And we're not going to watch the video because it's very, very long. But there's this guy, I think he called him... What are these subtitles?
It's not the likeliest, but it's no longer... in.
So this guy, I think he said his name was Brandon Wickert, something like that. So we're not going to watch the whole thing. But I summarized some important things worth knowing. So... So this guy is some kind of expert on Iran, and what he explained is that when America killed the Ayatollah, well, it was Israel, I think, that actually killed him. Israel used America to lull the Ayatollah into a false sense of security. So America told him, hey, we're willing to negotiate. So, you know, come out, we might have some peace talks here. And so the Ayatollah comes out. This is why this is why it didn't really seem like he was hiding, because he was expecting to negotiate. So, America did that knowing Israel was going to bomb him if he did. And so they did. That's how they killed him. And by doing so, this means that nobody's ever really going to trust us when we say, yeah, we're going to negotiate with you, because they know, no, actually Israel's just going to bomb you in the end. On top of this, Iran, as a consequence of this, has destroyed a bunch of oil refineries in the region, which means that gas prices are going to spike further and further, and they can't get these refineries back up for a long time. It could be months. And as I said earlier, China is now in Iran. They're helping out the Iranians with weapons and targeting systems. And what's really great about this is that for China, is that right now there's a war we're involved in Ukraine. Now there's a war in Ukraine and Russia. Now there's a war with Iran and Israel. And America is split dealing with these wars. So really, now if China wants to invade Taiwan, for example, this could be the perfect time for them to invade. Because we don't have the resources at this point to defend Taiwan. And since we were talking about Epstein earlier, I got some stuff for you here. Because this is a great distraction from a lot of the Epstein stuff going on here. So as you may know, Hillary Clinton was deposed. And they released video from the deposition. So we'll watch a little bit of this. This is, I think, Mamology 101's video.
When you saw photos of your husband in a hot tub laying on a beach and getting massaged by other women, and you knew that Jeffrey Epstein was involved in some of these trips and these things, did it concern you at all?
I'm here not to offer my opinions. I'm here to answer specific questions to the best of my ability.
When you saw...
He doesn't answer a single question in this thing, by the way. I just want to make that very clear. We'll skip ahead a little bit.
An outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people.
You could characterize it however you want. I just would like to know if she's familiar with any of them.
So excuse me, your question is about whether or not she has reviewed any emails in the Epstein release.
And you'll notice this. You'll notice how she grins in this creepy way every time she's asked an important question.
Files about Pizzagate.
Correct.
Pizzagate was totally made up. It was an outrageous allegation that ended up hurting a number of people, that caused a deranged young man to show up with his assault rifle and
deny. Yeah, and remember, she's a lawyer too. She was a lawyer. By her body language, she's hiding a lot. Oh yeah, you have no idea. Just wait
shoot
for
up
it.
local.
There's a part where they really start freaking out.
Pizzeria. I can't believe you're even referencing it. You should be.
There are connections to the language.
Well, the QAnon people believe there are. So
I don't know what QAnon people believe.
Have at it.
But you've accused certain parties, and I think even right now today, of promoting slow walking or information in ways that fuels conspiracies. In your view, did any Epstein-Maxwell related investigations or file handling pre or post 2019 contribute to or intersect with the spread of Pizzagate-style theories about Democrat figures?
Objection.
I have no way of answering. That is the most
speculation.
Ridiculously.
Have you or your representatives identified any Epstein file content that has been misinterpreted online to revive those claims? And what steps, if any, have you taken to clarify?
Again, object on the ground of
I think that this is all very reasonable.
Well, first of all, I don't follow the crazy conspiracy stories.
See, so she's just not answering.
That are online. I regret that anybody.
Oh yeah, Pizzagate was proven true. Oh yeah, we know Pizzagate was real. But I mean, she's just going to keep denying.
That he does. I find it quite sad, but also disturbing that people would believe some of what is put forth, like Pizzagate. So I have taken no steps to review anything that might have any connection to something which I think is totally bogus. Was not on my list. Pizzagate was not on my list.
That's okay. We're asking all sorts of things here.
You certainly are. You certainly are.
We're just trying to get the truth out to the American people.
Well, that would be
some clarity.
Very helpful.
Are you aware of any files that were on Anthony Weiner's laptop in a folder that was titled "Insurance, Life Insurance," with a zip file titled "Frazzled"?
This is way outside the
chairman's
scope.
ruling.
This is way.
You see how they freak out the moment she asks the question? Now, if you're not... I didn't know what this was about either, initially. But apparently, and I think this is Lauren Boebert who's asking these questions. She was referencing a file called Frazzledrip, which sounds like some kind of Zoomer slop. But apparently it's actually something very, very disturbing. So, Frazzledrip, supposedly, and I can't find a good source or anything for this, so we have no idea if it's real or not. But we know these people do this kind of thing anyway. Supposedly, Frazzledrip, found on Anthony Weiner's laptop, is a video of Hillary Clinton and her aide, Huma Abedin, who at the time was Anthony Weiner's wife. Supposedly, in this video called Frazzledrip, Hillary Clinton and Abedin were sacrificing a child. And in the video, they cut off the girl's... I think it said it was a little girl. They cut off the little girl's face. And Hillary Clinton basically wears the girl's face like a mask to scare her and freak her out even more as she's dying. And apparently this helps generate more adrenochrome for when they, I guess, like drink the child's blood or something like that. And I don't know if this specific video, Frazzle Drip, is real, but we know that these people do this. We know that these are satanic pedophile cannibals. So yeah, that's what was being referenced here. And you'll notice how quick they were to freak out and object and not even want to answer this. And how, yeah, why don't you lie and smile even more, exactly. And how she's smiling creepily even harder when they bring this one up.
Titled insurance, life insurance, with a zip file titled Frazzle.
This is way outside the
Chairman's
scope.
ruling.
This is way
within the
outside the
scope?
scope.
Is this within the scope, Mr. Chairman?
If the chairman rules that it's not within the scope, I
Mr.
have
Chairman,
other
based on what
questions.
you said in the public hearing, is this within the scope?
And she grins harder when she's lying, it seems.
Go off the record for a moment.
Mr. Chairman, is this within the scope?
We'll go off the record and can talk.
Well, that sounds disturbing. Also would want some more info on this, though, at least for the stuff on the visual. Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to find. It's hard to find because the video's never been, video's never been released or anything. Oh, and supposedly some of the supposedly there were cops who saw the footage, and those cops were all suicided by Hillary Clinton's people.
And then just a couple of more questions. So regarding the Epstein files, there are many files where Jeffrey Epstein seems to speak as though he does know you personally. In one file,
of course he did.
EFTA 006571115. Mr. Epstein is commenting, and he quotes, "Hey, Hillary Clinton is much prettier in person." This was Tuesday, September 20th, 2011. And then another...
Congressman...
I'm not going to object to that.
Congresswoman, can we see the documents? Because we don't think the
we will get that
document
printed.
says it. We don't think the document says it. Not that you're not pretty. I've got to say that.
Jeffrey Epstein is
I'll take it if I
also...
Oh, now they're trying to be cute about it. What part of this, are you confused by the cop thing?
commented that...
All right.
Excuse me, can I interrupt?
I have
There
another...
are photos that are being released.
Yeah, so apparently the cops who found... Apparently there were cops who found the Frazzle Drip video that I described. And the ones who saw it, supposedly they were, assassinated by Hillary Clinton. Or by the Clintons.
Of the secretary as she is testifying from inside this room. Can you please advise me as to whether or not that's permissible and consistent with the rules, particularly given that we have asked for a public hearing? If there are photos that are being released of the secretary as she is testifying, can you please explain how that
I'm done with this. If you guys are doing that, I am done. You can hold me in contempt from now until the cows come home. This is just typical behavior.
We will go off the record.
Oh, for heaven's sake.
So I would like to understand how that's permissible.
Before the hearing was...
It doesn't
Excuse
matter.
me.
We all are abiding by the same rules.
I will take that down.
Yeah,
So
well.
I would like to take a break at this moment.
Yeah,
and I'd like to have
I'm
a
done
conversation.
for now.
Yeah, so she quit. Basically, someone took a photo of her. And so she uses that as an excuse to just quit. Oh, but wait, there's more. So under the fog of war, here's our couple more things that you may have missed. Yeah, he just walks out. So while this war has been going on, there were some efforts to try and force Congress to release all reports of sexual misconduct and harassment. And while we are at war with Iran, the House of Representatives, in a 357 to 65 vote, killed the resolution to force the House Ethics Committee to make all these reports of sexual misconduct public. In other words, Congress quietly voted to shield perpetrators of sexual misconduct. And nobody's going to talk about it because we're at war with Iran. And if you criticize the government now, you're totally pro-Iran and you're bad. So yeah, so that's another thing the government is doing. The only emotion I have for politicians is contempt. You are putting it very lightly. You are putting it very, very lightly. There are like one or two politicians that I don't completely hate. Oh, and it gets better. It gets even better. So your Heckin-based president, who's totally saving the West from Iran, as Owen Schroyer put it, and this is why the stream was a bit delayed today, because I had to check this. Trump now includes transgender surgery for minors in the SAVE Act, which means Republicans have to support trans surgery for minors. The Save America Act. 1. All voters must show voter ID identification. 2. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. 3. No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. No men and women's sports. And here's the one. No transgender mutilation surgery for children. Sounds good, right? Without the express written approval of the parents. So, if the parents write their approval, then you can totally tune out the kid, So if this means that James Younger, for instance, and his father Jeff. If you don't know the story, the boy James, his father Jeff, didn't want to tune him out, but the kid's mom or stepmom, whatever she was, she took him to California, and he has now officially been trooned out. His genitals have been chopped off, and he's now being forced to live as a girl. And this bill would not prevent it because the mom approved it. So all the mom would have to do is fill out a form saying, yes, I expressly approve my son being trooned out. And so you get the transgender mutilation surgery anyway. So isn't that wonderful? Isn't that just so great? I support the Iranian people, just not Israel, or at least got suspicious about it. Look, I don't support anybody. I don't support any government. And right now, these are governments. And yeah, Israel, I don't support. I don't really support Iran either. I'm not pro-Iran, I'm not pro-Israel. I am anti-war. And I'm especially anti-America going to war. And especially anti-America going to be half. Anti-war. Geez, I am wording this weird. I am anti-America going to war, and I am even more anti-America going to war on behalf of a foreign country. Yeah, the gray area. Yep, exactly. Now he got busted with it. He deleted the post. Interesting. And reworded number 5. Gee. Yeah, well, it's probably going to be in the bill, by the way. They'll probably have the exception in the bill. Because remember, here's the thing. Here's the thing you have to understand. Number 4 and number 5. These are actually, it's actually kind of perfect how it's laid out here. What's more important to Republicans than children being mutilated? So they don't really care about children being mutilated. But what they do care about is men and women's sports. Because that, we can't have that. If kids get, as long as the parents are okay with it, if kids get their genitals chopped up, that's totally fine. But if you have men and women's sports, you can't have that, because here's the reason why. It's because Republicans are just feminists. They really are. So, if the feminists say, oh, we need an exception, we need to make sure that feminists can tune out their children. It's like, okay, yeah, totally, we'll make exceptions for that. We'll let the parents do that. But, when the feminists screech about men and women's sports, oh, well, we can't have that. The feminists are complaining. Trump supports child sterilizations. Yeah, he does. Trump supports whatever the feminists want. I don't support the Islamic Republic, but yeah. Well, yeah, that's Iran, basically. You just sent me the post, got the new post, rewording it? Oh, let's take a look. Thank you, Fractured. Let's have a look here. Oh, boy. Breaking, President Trump has deleted a viral Truth Social post in which he promoted the transitioning of minors. He's now reposted with that at number 5. Truly unbelievable. So let's see. The new one just says, no transgender mutilation surgery for children. Right, buddy. Sure, buddy. Sure. So yes, thank you, Fractured, for that update. Because yeah, Trump is he's a feminist. He's just giving the women whatever they want. He really is. Yeah, we really are in a disaster. So yeah, they'll get what they want. They'll get their exception. Don't worry. They'll get their exception. Because we are not run by people that care about America. America is run by anti-American politicians. Right, so that's that. Let's see. Got a couple more things here. So, you know, before we continue, give me 1 second. I'm just gonna run to the bathroom really quick because I really have to go to the bathroom. All right, I am back. So we got a couple of things we can talk about. I'm not sure what I think would be most interesting or relevant here. See, all right, so this might be... so this is worth talking about here. So apparently, the state of Texas, along with some other states, have been suing Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street, the effectively the cartel of institutional investors. So this is 13 attorneys general, led by Texas. The allegation here is that defendants were using their acquisition of stock to reduce competition in coal markets by and blah, blah, blah. So basically antitrust. Antitrust collusion. Now, here is a statement from the Texas Attorney General. What happened recently is they made a settlement agreement with Vanguard. Now, what they're saying is that Vanguard has agreed to make the strongest specific comments and empowers its investors with proxy voting, which is, that's good. This is very good. Landmark settlement represents one of the most significant enforcement actions ever taken against coordinated ESG-driven market manipulation. So they're saying this is, a big win against ESG and all that. But this is just a settlement. So to be clear, they have not lost any lawsuits yet. Vanguard instead is, for one, they're just paying $29.5 million, which is practically nothing for them. However, they have said that they will avoid imposing ESG goals and that they will offer proxy voting. So that's good. I don't think this is the massive win that people are saying it is, but it's good. It's something. However, BlackRock and State Street are still in the lawsuit. So keep this in mind. And if you do have like a, an IRA or whatever through Vanguard or a 401k, then in theory you should now be able to vote for some of these things. So kind of a mixed bag, but overall good news, I think. Next up, let's see. LexisNexis got hacked. So if you're not familiar with LexisNexis, it's basically a doxing website, data broker website. What is going on this page? There we go. So LexisNexis is a data broker doxing website, effectively. And they got hacked, which is actually really funny. The irony of this is just amazing. So a group called FulcrumSec, a group called FulcrumSec claims to have breached LexisNexis by exploiting a vulnerable container role to gain widespread access to the company's AWS infrastructure, bypassing access controls to exfiltrate vast amounts of sensitive corporate, government, and customer intelligence. In other words, the people who use and get information on you without your consent to dox you have now themselves been hacked. Which, normally this should be a big concern, but for me, my heart became filled with warmth, pride, and childlike joy. I love seeing people like this get what's coming to them. So, this is something wonderful. Alright, so I think... Let's see, we have a couple more stories here that... Okay, so this one, we're not going to spend too much time on this here, but it is something to be concerned about. And originally, this was going to be my main topic. But then Trump started a war with Iran, so... Now, I don't think we need to watch the whole video here, because it's over an hour long. But in short, Sega has sent the police and their mafia, Yakuza-esque lawyers after a guy who literally just bought their garbage. That's not an exaggeration. I'm not making it up. Literally, a guy bought garbage that Sega threw out, and Sega has now sent Yakuza-style lawyers after them, and PIs and cops in Britain. It's ironic. Yeah, the data breach, yep. So, let's see here.
This interview is being digitally recorded and may be used in evidence should your case be brought to trial. I am TDC 449 Calvin Postons for City London Police. This interview is being conducted in Bishopsgate Police Station, and you're still maintaining that you don't believe that these goods were stolen?
They were not stolen. Are you confirming Sega wanted the items destroyed?
Yes.
They've said this?
Yeah.
No filming or recording, yeah? Okay. You guys don't know law.
Yeah, so there's a lot of history stuff here.
Completely asleep.
Well, yeah, just to be clear, this is in the UK, so, 1984 is in full effect.
Like any business, he has some big hits and a lot of misses in the trade. This particular lot from Sega was a hit. It was worth a lot of money. He had it publicly listed, at which point it was reserved by the Video Game Preservation Museum in London, a registered museum, to be sold for £60,000.
Is this the one? Yes, it is.
Okay.
So, the guy who's at the center of the story is a guy who makes money by digging through scrapyards, finding stuff, and then selling it. So, in this case, he found some Sega dev kits. Or... Yes, so... Hey, Michael, how you doing, man? Good to see ya.
The more the magicer.
I hope you're doing well, Michael. We just wrapped up talking about the Iran war, and we're talking about how Sega is going after a guy for literally buying and reselling their trash. Sega were supposed to be the chosen ones. Yeah, Sega is weird. Because they're like, sometimes they'll do something awesome, and then they'll turn around and do stuff like this. Yeah, good to see him, man. They're supposed to destroy the copyright trolls, not join them. Oh, this is so much worse.
To be sold for $6.
So in short, this guy, he bought some of their trash secondhand. And he turned around and he said, okay, well, he tried to make a deal with an actual museum to sell them these prototypes. And this was all above board. But Sega sent these Yakuza-esque lawyers and private investigators and the British cops after him, and they're pretending that he stole this stuff, effectively. And so they're basically trying to ruin this guy's life.
Sold for £60,000.
Is this the one? Yes, it is.
Okay.
So these are actually Sega cards.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, history is at stake.
Yeah.
If Sega get these cartridges back, they're just going to destroy them again.
Mm-hmm.
It's legal to make private copies for museums, but we're not allowed to share it with you or the public. But in many cases, the cartridges are already dumped before they arrive to us, or the consoles are dumped. So we don't actually have to worry about that sort of issue, because it's not on us then.
Okay.
And this was going to be the plan with the cartridges originally.
So this is part of some kind of digital preservation law, I guess. Okay.
Which is important, right? This is all for preservation, and preservation of gaming history is so incredibly important.
Darius has alleged human rights violations during his time in jail, including what he alleges are unlawful durations without food while arrested. Sega alleges theft. The police, at varying points, have alleged everything from money laundering to intellectual property crime. The contractor, through an email accidentally sent to Gamers Nexus, pointed fingers every direction, and as far as Gianna has been able to ascertain, at least one of the subcontractors or middlemen has disappeared from London after the event. Meanwhile, Darius keeps searching for answers. He wants to know specifically why he was arrested and why the dev kits he purchased now sit in an evidence locker. Private entities like Sega, Fusion 85, and Nintendo all sit together on a board in the UK and collaborate with the police openly. Blame often gets pinned on the party we think with the least power, and that's what we're here to investigate. We brought you this investigation with
Yeah, so the cops are basically just throwing everything at this poor guy to see what sticks. And he's saying that they downright abused him while he was under arrest. Let's skip some of this history stuff here.
And so far, all of this information from Damien is great, but we need to know how these two guys met and get to the heart of the story, which is the 60,000 British pound lot of dev kits and
about this private investigator. I didn't understand what was going on, and I didn't understand what this had to do with money laundering. Then the police said to me, right, you're under arrest, we have to take you to the police station.
How many cops was it total once you saw
I would say approximately 10.
Okay, once you
that I saw. There were a whole bunch of people who were not uniformed, that were not present initially.
But they just went straight to Don, I
Yeah,
guess.
they went straight to Don because
Okay.
obviously he had the cartridges and his colleague did.
Right. So after you do the down payment and he goes silent, what's the next thing you hear about this?
He called me and goes, you're not going to believe this, but I was raided by the police. They've taken everything.
And I assumed at this point, the stuff might have been stolen, sold to me, and I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to lose the stuff. But as soon as they realize, oh, I'm a good faith purchaser.
And then that'll be that, I guess.
That'll be it. Yeah, I thought I'll sit in a cell.
So this guy thought, oh, if I just cooperate with the cops, they'll, everything will be easy. And of course, cops being cops, it didn't go the way he thought. But basically, the cops and apparently these PIs that Sega hired raided this guy's home and took all his stuff, all the stuff that he was going to sell to the museum, and put him under arrest. And then mistreated him the whole time as well. So after this, they go into a bunch of stuff about the scrapyards themselves and try to corroborate the story, and it seems pretty clear. But here's the really interesting part. So here's where the conspiracy comes in. Where they actually, behind the scenes, are trying to frame the subcontractor, basically frame anybody that is not Sega or the original trash contractor.
On our own. With all of our months of evidence filled in now, here's a flashback rewind of everything. In April, Sega Europe moved from its former office to Chiswick Business Park. Recycling organization Waste to Wonder cleared out Sega Europe's abandoned offices. Waste to Wonder's email mistakenly sent to us when planning its crisis response.
So the geniuses who run the waste recycling company that was responsible for this accidentally sent their crisis email to Gamers Nexus. Which is like the dumbest thing you can do. They basically admitted what happened.
Response, which up until they sent it seems totally unnecessary since it wasn't a crisis, but now it kind of is, revealed a lot of important details. We want to be clear that while we respect the stated mission of the organization, the email is filled with what we feel to be...
This one's really funny. How their PR email is like, be careful not to shift blame onto the client. That could damage the relationship. So they're saying, oh yeah, even though this is probably, a lot of this is Sega's fault, you can't blame them because then that would look bad. Blame the subcontractor instead. Blame this Don guy instead.
To be cover your ass statements, like focusing on protecting the relationship with Sega. We've informed the organization that we are under absolutely no obligation to keep this off record, since one, we asked them for a comment and this is what they accidentally sent to us,
Based.
And two,
what kind of stuff is this? So let me jump back. It's right here. Wait.
A lot of money. He had it publicly listed, at which point it was reserved by the Video Game Preservation Museum in London, a registered museum.
Here you go. So it was a bunch of prototypes for games. So DS and 3DS prototypes. Looks like Sonic and Sega 3DS prototypes. So Sonic Chronicles, Sonic Colors DS, Sonic Generations 3DS. Never before seen DS prototype of Rhythm Thief. So a bunch of video game prototypes.
maybe aren't factual, maybe useful spin, or maybe...
So they're saying, oh, maybe one of the subcontractors stole these things without telling us.
Sega misrepresented reality to Waste to Wonder. It claims the room was out of scope, which we haven't found any evidence for. It claims the subcontractor's staff stole items in a criminal act without Waste to Wonder's knowledge. First of all, as far as we can tell, the subcontractor was told by Waste to Wonder and or Sega to simply take everything, which wouldn't be theft. Despite the obvious pile of techno shit in the middle of the floor, our opinion is that Sega misrepresented this to police as theft from another room. Secondly, since this is Waste to Wonder's own email stating that subcontractor staff stole or allegedly stole items, that would in and of itself immediately clear Darius Khan of any direct theft of his own. Purchasing goods in good faith without knowing they were stolen is not money laundering, nor is it an IP crime, nor is it creation or possession of counterfeit goods, which was another of the many shape-shifting changes that London police levied at Darius Khan as their narrative mutated over the months. At best, he may have been unknowingly in possession of stolen...
So it seems like Sega and the cops are basically working together to sell this lie and to frame this Darius guy for Sega's own mistake.
Property, at which point they would take it back and go after the thief. If that's even true, and we don't think it is, this would be no different than if you bought a PlayStation dev kit from a...
What?
Oh my God!
Oh, thank you to Melee Games for the very first subscription on this channel. So thank you. I'm assuming James is the one on that behind that. I'm assuming James is the one. Or wait, no, on Rumble you guys both shared the account, don't you? So whoever it was, James or Kay. Thank you so much for gifting that membership to Dude. Very, very much appreciated. I have not actually set up any special perks for members, so I should probably do that. But either way, I greatly appreciate it. So thank you so much, James and or Kay. Who's there? I guess this is their way of regifting, or I guess this is in exchange for me gifting the marathon yesterday, which James is going to be playing later tonight. So be sure to check that out because I definitely will be. That's going to be hilarious. I know James. Basically, since High Guard's going away, I figured James needs a new septic tank. So hopefully that's fun. Hopefully that's a fun time. So I don't know when they're going to be doing that stream, but if it is before I end, then we'll just raid out to them. Yeah. So thank you again. Yeah, so back to the story.
As their narrative mutated over the months. At best, he may have been unknowingly in possession of stolen property, at which point they would take it back.
Bitch, this is not a thanks for marathon. I could have been playing Warcraft 3. Oh. Well, now you're playing marathon. Definitely be there for that tonight. Hell yeah. Haven't bothered with marathon. Is it actually bad or bait? I mean, I don't know. I just know it looks like shit. Like it's gonna be shit. So I'm just gonna be enjoying the panic diarrhea there.
Back and go after the thief. If that's even true, and we don't think it is, this would be no different than if you bought a PlayStation dev kit from a pawn shop that was, unbeknownst to you, in possession of a stolen PlayStation dev kit. And then the police raided your house the next day, arrested you, starved you in their custody for a day, coerced you to voluntarily forfeit the item without any proof of being stolen, seized and invasively searched your phone and phone records, and caused mental anguish for the next 8 months of your life. And that's assuming...
And yeah, that's pretty messed up what they did to this poor guy. Also, a bit of a tangent, but can we just take a second to appreciate the... Can we just take a second to appreciate how cool this PlayStation 4 dev kit looks? the PS4 Pro dev kit looks. Because I mean, I think they're presenting it a little bit. Yeah, that little glass thing is Gamers Nexus thing, but still, this thing looks really cool. It kind of reminds me of back in like the mid 2000s, how we had those like Dell Optiplex desktop PCs when I was in school. So I don't know. I just think this thing looks really cool. Yeah, it's real. It's real, Michael. This is so Gamers Nexus have this. It is a dev kit for the PlayStation 4 Pro. You can't find it. It's a developer's kit. So I don't think you'd be able to get your hands on one. But I just think it's extremely cool. Like, just to have, just as a piece of technology and just the way it's designed. Because, you know, it's a developer kit, right? So it's not really meant for consumer use. But even so, the design behind this thing is actually really, really nice. It reminds me, like I said, it reminds me of those old Dell PCs that we had back in the day. You wanted to play Warcraft 3? I'll sit and witness. Oh, okay, this is K then. Okay, because you're witnessing. Because I know James is the one who's going to be playing. Okay, well, thank you again, K, for the gift sub. But I will sit and witness Marathon for several hours. It says, I have the perfect punishment for Nightmare next time he gifts you guys. Dude, it's very hard to punish me. Also, I see there's another gift sub. Oh. Yeah, I see it, because I got the Rumble one pulled up.
Oh my God!
So thank you again, Kay, for gifting another sub. Fractured, if you're still on, if you're still hanging out on Rumble, you should be able to grab that. But yeah, thank you again so much for gifting a sub, Kay. Much appreciated.
Dev kit from a.
So yeah, guys, be sure to check out the marathon stream that they're doing later tonight.
Pawn shop that was, unbeknownst to you, to just take all of it, which points back to Sega as negligent.
But yeah, so Sega and the British police are effectively conspiring to screw over this guy. Oh, there it is. There it is. Fractured got the membership. Sweet. I should add some, like, member exclusive emotes or something. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, thank you again. Thank you again, Melee K. But, yeah, so Sega and the British police are conspiring to screw over this guy, all to cover up for Sega's and this recycling contractor's own mistake.
To Wonder would review the chain of custody and scope of work for its contractor, its insurance policies, and would ask the subcontractor for what items were removed. It says to investigate whether it was client inventory control negligence by Sega. It also says that IP risk may involve Nintendo, which typically asserts perpetual ownership over its dev kits and talks about preparing for lawsuits.
Yeah, that makes sense. You gotta be active in chat to get the gift on Rumble. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. I wonder what happens, though, if, like, you gift a sub and then there's nobody eligible to receive the sub on Rumble, and then the stream ends. Because, like, that, I think that's why YouTube does the thing they do, where you can get a gift sub, or you can get the gift membership on YouTube, is what they call it, even if you're not in the chat. Because, you know, like, maybe if you run out of people to gift it to. So I wonder how that works on Rumble, but... Yeah, that makes sense, though. Yeah, at the very least, it makes sense to prioritize whoever's active in chat, right?
The document also provides some take-home key messages, throwing the subcontractor under the bus. But in all of that, curiously, never Darius. They state the action, quote, appears to be a criminal act by an individual subcontractor operative, end quote, but never naming Darius or external third-party buyers. It talks about commitment to ethics. The document advises not blaming Sega publicly, then offers some means to smooth things over with Sega. It talks about training its staff to not steal.
That's all good and fine, but here's the real conspiracy theory part of this.
there hasn't even been a trial yet. Gamers Nexus obtained through sources a 1-hour recording of the police interview from inside the police station. You can hear how the
So in this part of the video, he's going to dig into all these weird relationships that they have in Britain between these companies like Nintendo and Sega and the British police and so on.
The police try to pin knowledge of stolen property on Darius.
What happens after that?
What do you mean, what happened after that?
So, does he pay you the money?
You should know.
I do know.
Why are you asking?
Just want to see what you say. So he sent 5k. So what we've got here now, so he's paid £5,000 for stolen goods.
That you allege to be stolen.
Which generates the proceeds of crime. So that £5,000 is technically criminal property.
If you can prove they're stolen.
This is also a really frustrating conversation to listen to because of how like condescending and simultaneously retarded the cops sound. It'll eventually give the member out to someone else who follows you off stream. It's rare Rumble W because YouTube sometimes refunds it instead of giving it to someone not currently present. Ah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's a smarter way to do it, for sure. For sure. Yeah, Rumble definitely has a few benefits over YouTube, for sure. But I just wish that they would fix some of the issues that they have, like the username sticking, right? Like, if I'm commenting on something on mobile, it goes back to my username instead of my channel name. Or the fact that you have to pay for Rumble Premium just to schedule a stream more than a day ahead of time. Yeah, that's the kind of thing that bugs me about Rumble. But yeah, the way they handle membership seems to be pretty good. I need punishment for Tales of the Shire? Oh boy.
In many cases, possession of IP would mostly be an issue of breaching an NDA, like Sega's with Nintendo's. Gamers Nexus obtained one of Nintendo's United Kingdom developer NDAs that covers development kits. Under the section Restrictions, Nintendo...
Yeah, spot on. For every one good thing Rumble does, they do 10 things that are homosexual. Yeah, totally. Totally.
States that developers, quote, will not directly or indirectly reverse engineer development kits.
Right, so he's just talking about some of the NDAs and things, but the NDAs don't apply to this guy because he is not a developer who signed anything with Sega or Nintendo or whatever.
He wrote, quote, DC Postins forwarded me your last email. Should you have any further... Nexus also obtained emails between the police and Darius's lawyers, with the supervising officer writing, quote, I had a catch-up on this with Sega and discussed with them possible outcomes and asked for their views, end quote. So the police are in regular communication with Sega, which makes sense, since the Special Police Intellectual Crime Unit leads operations in direct collaboration with the UK Interactive Entertainment Association, or U.
So this right here is the sort of conspiracy that I'm talking about, where this PIPCU, which is their basically copyright enforcement thing from the government, works with the British phonographic industry. I misread that initially, by the way. International Federation of Phonographic Industry. So basically, music publishers, motion picture associations of movies, and so on. And right here is UK Interactive Entertainment Association, so that is video games.
UKIE, confirmed also on the UK IP Crime Group government page that lists the City of London Police and the UKIE as members. The UKIE is membered by large publishers, including board members from EA Games, which recently sold to Saudi Arabia's PIF and Jared Kushner, Nintendo, Activision Blizzard King, Sony, Warner Brothers Discovery, Roblox, and Ubisoft. But that doesn't create the link between the private investigators Fusion 85, which does test purchases and surveillance, and London City Police and the UKIE. But we found a document that does create the link. This 2023 annual review of activities includes a first page that has the name of dozens of companies in the background. If you look closely, you'll notice that alongside companies like Sega Europe and Nintendo UK is odd man out private investigator firm Fusion 85. They aren't listed anywhere else in this document. Page 18 of the review states that the UKIE has a, quote, free IP monitoring service, end quote, which combats emulators and piracy. But it also says that the UKIE has an, quote, important ally, end quote, naming the Intellectual Property Office, which it says, quote, funds IP protection with the City of London Police, end quote.
So you can see the conspiracy coming together. So Sega and Nintendo and these other video game publishers, they work with this private investigation firm called Fusion 85. And together they all work with the City of London Police and the Intellectual Property Office.
As an opinion, we don't think that police forces should be, quote, important allies, end quote, with corporations. The UK...
Unfortunately, police forces are effectively owned by corporations.
UKIE may be a non-profit trade association, but at its core, the UKIE is every company on this page. It is membered by them. Its board of directors consists of staff and executives from game publishers and developers like Nintendo and Sega. It is directed by these companies, because it's made up of them. That it then lists the IPO as an ally because they fund the police seems like an enormously disproportionate conflict that puts anyone arrested on suspicion of crime by those very police at a huge disadvantage to the allies of private corporations that provide internet monitoring services and retain private investigators for surveillance. Plainly, this is a conflict of interest, and in our view, it is simply impossible for the police to be neutral parties when they are publicly listed as being funded by an important ally, that's a direct quote, of the UKIE, membered by Sega and its PI firm.
So there you go. And there's a bit more to this. I don't think it's hugely relevant, though. Now, there's a part I want to play here that's kind of cool.
From listening to the rest of the police interview, we think that the police mostly try to corner Darius because they seem to think that he thinks he shouldn't have the dev kits. But thinking that you shouldn't have something doesn't mean that you think having that thing is illegal. It also doesn't even mean that you think that thing was stolen by somebody else. It just means that from the perspective of someone else, maybe Sega or Nintendo in this instance, they think that they'd rather you not have that thing. For example,
So I love this part because he shows a whole bunch of these prototypes that he has that he technically probably shouldn't have.
Shouldn't have sources familiar with the inside of Sega, UK specifically, and how it operates, where things are, and how they dispose of items. But I do. And they've leaked stuff to us. So that's not illegal, but I also shouldn't have, for example, this Sony PlayStation 4 Pro dev kit. I probably shouldn't have this AMD Epic Stardust emulator. Wasn't stolen. I probably shouldn't have this
He just brings out all this
Xbox
stuff.
dev kit.
Awesome.
Project Scorpio. I probably shouldn't have this PlayStation, I forget what model it is, dev kit. I also probably shouldn't have this development motherboard with a CPU that has extra thermocouples embedded in it. Also, I probably shouldn't have this EVGA RTX 4090, but I have it. The reason I probably shouldn't have this is because NVIDIA probably wouldn't have allowed EVGA to give it to us if they had asked. But you know how I got this? EVGA's CEO gave it to me. So as far as I'm concerned, I can have it. It's just
like a PS3. Yeah, it might be like the PS3 Pro Slim or whatever the hell it was. No PS4? No, the PS4 was the first one that he pulled out.
that someone else might think I shouldn't have it because they'd prefer I don't. So just because someone thinks you shouldn't have something, it really doesn't mean that that thing, the possession of it, is illegal. I also probably shouldn't have cookies and Red Bull, but I do. Having things that someone else doesn't want you to have doesn't mean it's a crime. In this case, I shouldn't have this pile of things because the companies probably don't want me to, but I bought them legally, and to my knowledge, not one of them.
Okay, it was a PS4 Pro. Yes, I'm guessing that was a PS4 Pro prototype because this thing here that he showed is a PS4 Pro dev kit. So yeah, that would make sense. At least the console shell looked like it. Yeah, exactly.
was stolen. It's really not my concern if someone else breaks their NDA with Sony or Nintendo when their office is foreclosed and liquidated. That's how I bought one of these dev kits. The office it came out of was foreclosed and liquidated, and I was a buyer. Even if that company had an NDA with the publisher or the developer, I don't. At the very best, if you could argue in favor of these companies, for example in the US, you might argue that it's a civil matter. The police seem to insist that because Darius was trying to make a lot of money from the items, and because those included IP, he thought he shouldn't have the items. Likewise, we question the intentions of any police force that partners with private corporations and trade groups that list monitoring and surveillance as part of the services they sell. So again,
it makes it pretty clear that the police do not work for the people. They work for the corporations.
and Darius isn't some altruistic hero pulling a Robin Hood to rescue devices for purposes of preservation. He's running a business, and we think he's trying to maximize his profits, just like Nintendo and Sega. The difference is where that money goes after the profits have been maximized. And with that, we'll leave you with this funny exchange between Darius and the police, as if it came out of a comedy sketch.
Yeah, so is that your
this
standpoint?
is painful to listen to.
Not stolen.
They're not. I bought them in good faith.
Darius, can I ask a quick question?
Try.
So, who do you think this property should go back to?
Me.
From our possession to you?
Yeah, I bought it lawfully.
If I stole your phone...
Are we doing that car thing again?
Yeah, you can look it up. You can look it up.
We'll see what the judge has to say about that.
Okay, but I'm going to say it on here. Calvin has his car stolen by Ben. I then sell it to my mate John. John sells it to Dave. Dave sells it to the last person, Trevor, in good faith. That car, who does it go back to?
You tell me.
It goes back to Calvin.
I'll say no,
Technically it'll go to the insurance company if they pay it.
No, take technicalities out. The insurance hasn't paid out. It goes back to Calvin.
Well, you're assuming the insurance hasn't paid out.
So we'll get into technicalities.
Oh, these things matter.
I forgot one more thing. I also probably shouldn't have this Google Stadia dev kit, but I do. They probably just don't really want to pick it back up again. So if you want to support our investigation...
The Stadia dev kit, that one cracks me up. Stadia sucked. So yeah, that is the story of how Sega is conspiring with the cops to screw over this poor guy who just bought their crap and is trying to sell it to a museum. All right, so I got another good story that I think you guys are just gonna have a good laugh at. Then we're actually gonna jump back to video games in a bit, but it's just too good not to have a laugh. So after all the Iran war stuff, I figure you guys deserve a laugh here. So this retard has been arrested since the beginning of this year. This retard has been, as of this video, arrested for 9 times, 10 pending, right? So
for you tonight, an upstate boutique owner arrested for the 9th time this year, and a 10th arrest is now looming. Brooke Schrantz owns the Thomas & Turner Boutique in Belton. You can see the collection of her mugshots from all over the counties here in the upstate from her previous arrests. They're from multiples throughout the area, and she's accused of scamming customers out of thousands of dollars. Now tonight, Fox County's Lex Urbach joins us live now in studio to break down these.
So this woman's a scammer, and it looks like she's just gone all around, whatever state this is, North Carolina? It just says Carolina, so I can't tell if this is South Carolina or North Carolina. But this woman's just gone around the state, or around the county, whatever it is. And she's just gone around scamming people.
Down these new allegations and what could come next. Alexa.
Brooke Schrantz was booked this afternoon at the Richland County Detention Center. This is her 9th arrest related to an alleged scam that stretched across the state. And now tonight, we know Schrantz is set to be taken to Greenwood to face even more charges. Customers claim they purchased items from her boutique, but they say they never received them and were never refunded. Fox Carolina spoke with 2 alleged victims from Anderson. These moms, once loyal customers, say Schrantz broke customers' trust and bank accounts.
Her taking money that I was going to use to clothe my son when it could have been a meal for my son, I don't like that. To think that it's 54 people and there's no telling how many more out there that just didn't want to come forward for fear of retaliation from her, it makes me sick.
I had spent $315.12. So with that, I mean, it's not just a little bit of money to me. That's groceries for a week in my household. We go to work.
With accents like that, how can you not expect them to be scammed?
And we work hard for our money, and that's not something that should be taken advantage of.
Schranz is charged with obtaining money by property by false pretense and breach of trust with fraudulent intent. A judge granted her a $2,000 bond this afternoon. Now, the Greenwood police chief says officers have active warrants for Schranz and will pick her up once Richland County is ready. Live in the studio, Alexa Urbach, Fox Carolina News.
So, with that, I assume, you can probably guess how the story ends, right? She gets arrested, she gets thrown in jail, they charge her, whatever, she has a trial, all that, right? I assume, that's how you think it's going to end, right? Surprised it's not an Indian scammer? Oh, well, this is the traditional type of scammer. Indians are a little bit newer. But, right, you think they've arrested her 9 times, they're going to do a 10th? You think, she probably gets put on trial, put in jail, punished in some way, right? Boutique owner arrested for 11th time this year.
You slammed that, yo. This. Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard alert!
Yeah, so this woman, I don't know if that retard alert should go to the cops or to the woman herself. Really, probably just both. But yeah, so she actually somehow did not go to jail and is being arrested again. Yeah, exactly. She's certainly going for a record. He posted a video to react to in Discord, under 30 seconds. Okay, I'll take a look in a sec. Something about Arby's.
New details for you here tonight. One upstate boutique owner and 11 different arrests. Tonight, Brooke Schranz back behind bars for the 11th time. You can see each of her mugshots here since the beginning of the year. Just about every arrest happening in the upstate. And now tonight, another arrest here in the upstate. Fox County's Ashley Listrom joins us live now in studio. Ashley, you've been following the...
Yeah, this year, by the way. It's all 11 times in 1 year, and it's just March now.
This one closely. So how does this latest arrest now fit into the bigger picture of this multi-arrest situation?
Well, Justin, it's hard to believe, but for the 11th time, Brooke Schranz was booked. The Cherokee County Sheriff's Office says they secured arrest warrants last week, but they actually had to wait for other agencies to get her into custody finally today. And Schranz is the owner of Thomas and Turner Boutique in Belton. The Sheriff's Office says in today's arrest, a victim filed a report in December. That victim ordered more than $350 of products through the boutique's online store. But deputies say the customer never received the products. Like others, the customer tried repeatedly to get answers from Schranz, but was eventually blocked. And multiple victims reported Schranz to their local law enforcement before this 11th arrest. But she was also arrested on Friday in Greenwood County. Other boutique owners in the area say Schranz's actions could be hurting their reputations.
We just do not want one bad apple to ruin the best. To remember the importance of shopping.
But it's like 11 times. What are we doing here? Like, why have you not just charged this woman and put her in jail? More than one arrest per week? How did she get loyal customers that quick? No, I think what's going on is she's actually getting different customers because these arrests are in different locations, right? So if I jump back here, you can see these are different counties that are arresting her each time. There are a couple of repeats, but in general, these are different places she's getting arrested. So she's going around scamming different people in different places who probably haven't even heard of her. So I don't think they're loyal customers. I think they're just new people who are constantly getting tricked. It's insane.
To remember the importance of shopping small.
Schrantz's 11 arrests are scattered across South Carolina, but mostly in the upstate, spanning from Anderson County to Pickens County. You can see Spartanburg County here on your screen, even Richland County, just to name a few. And for today's arrest, Schrantz is charged with one count of obtaining property under false pretenses, less than $2,000. She was granted a more than $2,000 bond. Reporting live in the studio, Ashley Listrom, Fox Carolina News.
It's like, this is from, how many days ago? 9 days ago. So there is actually a good chance this woman has been released and arrested again. Like, it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. Why is this woman still in business? Shouldn't 11 arrests raise a red flag? Shut her business down and send her to trial. Everyone's going, definitely someone going places in politics, which I mean, accurate. Member of Congress. Jeez. It's crazy. Alright, let's see. So, let's take a look at what dude... Oh, Joey Salads. I didn't realize it was that guy.
To be trying out Arby's brand new roast
I
beef.
remember this guy. This guy used to be some kind of prankster on YouTube, didn't he? Like Joey Salads is what he went by.
Arby's CEO Cliff Beaverton here, and we're going to be trying out Arby's brand new roast beef signature sandwich. Wow. That's some good roast beef right there. As we all know, before you try an Arby's roast beef, got to give it that signature.
Oh boy.
Wow. They don't call it Arby's roast beef for nothing. Now that we got that out of the way, we can actually try this thing. Arby's CEO Cliff Beaverton here.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a reference to the McDonald's bit. Where that CEO is like just taking a tiny bite and afraid to eat it. Yeah. I think that is the implication, Fractured, yes. Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's a prankster, so, you know, it's not serious.
You slap.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's a reference to the McDonald's CEO, because, yeah, that guy, like, he took a tiny bite of, you know, maybe we can just pull it up here. McDonald's CEO eating, oh, there we go. McDonald's CEO eating burger. By the way, McDonald's sucks now. It really does. Like, it's just not worth your money.
For the sandwich.
Oh, not the best kind of grip today. CEO Chris Kibitsky is trying the McDonald's Archburger is blowing up online, but it's not for the food.
Not even... Dang it. I want the actual video. I hate it when they do that. I mean, apparently Burger King actually is trying to make fun of him, but... Here we go. Hopefully this is what we want. Oh, for God's sake, I don't want this dude in front of the video. Come on. Wait. Already on this shit. You go away. Really? Not gonna let me click? Decent Burger King, yeah. Oh, so he posted it to Instagram. That's why I had a hard time finding it. Jeez. Here we go. Oh, fuck you, Instagram. Fine. Fine, we'll watch this. Well, you know what? Can I just... I just want to watch the actual video. Jeez. Let's see. Okay, highlight. There we go.
That is so good. That's so good. I'm going to do a tasting right now, but I'm going to eat this for my lunch, just so you know. So here we go. First, holy cow. God, that is a big burger. We've got a very unique...
That is not a big burger. Nothing. That is a tiny sandwich. Okay, it's smaller than his hand. Burgers used to be about almost as big as your hand. Now look at how tiny that is. And he's going, oh, that's a big burger. No, it's not.
Kind of sesame, poppy sort of bun on it. We've got 2...
What idiot in the marketing department thought this was a good idea?
quarter-pound patties, a delicious Big Arch sauce, and of course some lettuce. So, oh, there's so much going on with this. First of all, let's try to get this.
You had the Arch burger, you thought it was decent? Yeah, I mean, maybe it tastes decent, but it's like, was it worth the money though?
This thing, I don't even know how to attack it. Got so much to it. Oh, there's also some crispy onions on here as well. I see those kind of coming out. All right, the moment of truth.
Just takes like the tiniest little bite. Tiny little girly bite.
That is so good. That's a big bite for a Big Arch.
That is not a big bite.
Distinctively McDonald's. Only McDonald's could do this type of burger, but it also is unlike anything else on our menu. It's a delicious product. You know, you've got sort of the cheeses and the gooiness.
Exactly, it's tiny.
But those crispy onions as well gives a nice
tiny
texture.
bite
And
of a tiny
course,
burger.
we've got the pickles. So I'm going to enjoy the rest of my lunch, but Big Arch.
That's like smaller than
try it when you can get it. Chris K here with, you've heard about it. Here it is.
Arby's still has the superior burger. Well, so I don't actually eat burgers, but I do love a good chicken sandwich. So, you know, for that, that's basically Chick-fil-A is kind of the king there, although I will say I kind of prefer the Raisin Cane sandwich, mostly because of the sauce. Mostly lettuce too. Yeah, it's like half lettuce. It's like, I mean, the last time I went to McDonald's, there was almost nothing good there. The ice cream machine was broken, so I couldn't even get a milkshake. So it's just, there's no value to eating at McDonald's anymore. You can get better food, even if you still really want fast food, you can get better fast food just about everywhere else. Like, say what you want about Wendy's, but at least, like, their chicken sandwiches are really good. Or, I mean, like, you want something really good. Yeah, you want something at least decent quality, you can go to, like, Chick-fil-A or something, you know? Gonna eat this for the rest of my lunch. Bish, no you didn't. You didn't eat that for your lunch, Bish. Yeah, there's no way he ate that for his lunch. He probably had like some filet mignon and caviar or whatever fancy crap to eat. It's just so sad. Yeah, so there's that. And since we're on fast food, Imp actually sent me this the other day. Apparently. So you guys remember how I think it was Taco Bell or Wendy's that were trying to use AI to take orders? And that failed miserably after, for example, someone tried to order 10,000 cups of water. Well, now Burger King is launching an AI to monitor their employees. And they named it Patty because, of course, they did. So it will not only assist employees with meal preparation, but also evaluate their interactions with customers for friendliness. And this literally reminds me of that episode of SpongeBob with the Krabby O Mondays. When the manager is like staring at Squidward and he goes, "Now, Squidward, you wouldn't want to have to talk to human resources, would you?" And it shows just like some huge dude who looks like he's about to punch him out, coming out of human resources, and then Squidward pretends to be happy. This is all meant to be a coaching tool. You know it's going to be used to manage people. Ugh. Such a disaster. The OpenAI-powered Patty serves as the voice of the BK system platform, which combines data across drive-through conversations and so on. Employees can ask Patty questions or for instructions on how to clean the shake machine. Oh, lovely, and it's also integrated with their POS system, so the POS is integrated with their POS. The AI assistant will also alert managers if a machine is down or an item is out of stock. Great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. See, here we go. They're not doing AI drive-thrus yet. Jeez, what a joke. Yeah, exactly. That's not creepy at all. Yeah, it'll be like, you have not been friendly enough to the customers today. We are docking you 5 cents from your paycheck. Yeah, I'm so glad I don't go to BK anymore. It's just a weird spot in town for me. I actually have one that's like just down the street. Like literally, I could get in my car, drive for like 30 seconds. What the hell is happening with my head? I could get to my car. I could get in my car and drive for like basically 30 seconds, and I'd be next to the Burger King. But I just don't really see the point of going to Burger King when I could go to Chick-fil-A and get something better. You know what I mean? Or I could go to like Raising Cane's or something like that. There's just no point. There's really just no point. Because they don't have anything except maybe like their ices, I think. You know what? Let's do this. Let's look at the Burger King menu. I don't know. Oh. Fine. Let me go to... let's try this. Kentucky. There we go. Because I just want to see what's on their friggin' menu. So yeah, you can get burgers, chicken, sandwiches, which are fine. Like, the sandwiches are fine, but they're nothing that special. Plus, they're like super expensive. Chicken fries is kind of cool, but I mean the novelty wears off pretty quickly. I mean, what else do they have? You know, I usually get BK's Triple Whopper when I'm in the mood for sloppy fast food. Yeah. Plus, I mean the calories on this stuff are insane. You know. And then yeah, I mean they have their sides and all that. Drinks, like. Again, that's just the standard stuff. Sometimes they do have, yeah, they have shakes, which are, again, they're fine, but Chick-fil-A has shakes that are just as good. And yeah, they do have the frozen Coke and stuff, but I mean, you can get that at a gas station. So it's like, beyond that, okay, I guess they have some ice cream and such. You know, that's fine, but it's nothing that special. It's like, there's just no point to go to Hershey's Sundae Pie. Okay, now I'm kind of interested, but it's probably like tiny. But not going to BK to count my calories. I think that shit's retarded. You don't go to fast food places to watch what you eat. Hey, I have lost a lot of weight eating a lot of Taco Bell, okay? So, you know. Now, I will say that when I make my own M&M McFlurries at home, I get like a big 24-ounce pint. And the whole thing is only 400 calories. Meanwhile, this tiny little sundae here is 300 calories. Oh, yeah. But, yeah. Anyway. You don't believe me? Yeah, you can... I mean, if you watch what you're eating, yeah, you can... Taco Bell is actually pretty decent for that. Especially because of how much you can customize a Taco Bell. But, yeah, okay. So I got one more story here that is video game related. So you guys might have heard about Miriant shutting down. It's not disbelief. So you guys might have heard about Miriant shutting down, and if you are not familiar with Miriant is an archival site where you can download basically archives of old video games. As they say, Miriant is one of the most comprehensive game preservation resources on the internet, and they're shutting down at the end of the month, and this is unfortunate. But this project here, called Minerva Archive, is attempting to create a decentralized archive and that anybody can volunteer and help out. It's right here. They say 101 volunteers active. So the way this seems to work is you download their script, and I haven't had a chance to really dig through their script. It looks, at first glance, their script looks totally safe to run. so I might give this a try at some point. Let's see, you can join their Discord, and I think their Discord's open now. It was closed when I looked at this yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to look. But you can join their Discord to, you know, coordinate or whatever. And then you download whatever you can from Myriad, as they say. Distributes the work across hundreds of volunteers worldwide. Each worker downloads files from Myriad and uploads them to our archival servers. The site is rate limited, so we need as many hands as possible. Understandable. So they're basically trying to, in a decentralized way, download everything possible from Myriad, so that when Myriad does go down, the archives are still preserved throughout the world. Minerva already has Truants involved in their Discord, but that might be why it's closed now. Oh boy. Yeah, well, I mean, this kind of thing, it kind of comes with the territory, you know? You kind of have to expect that you're going to see Troons show up one way or another in this kind of thing. But as long as they're not causing a mess, as long as they're not being a pain in the ass, then it's like, you know what, who cares? As long as they're being helpful and not, you know, getting in the way of things, then it's fine. Let them do whatever they want. Just as long as, basically, as long as they're acting normal. That's really all that matters. Yeah, they do move fast. But, let's see. Can you join their Discord? Oh, there you go. The Discord's open now, so I will be... At some point soon, I will be checking this out so I can help with the preservation efforts. I'm also curious because of the storage space as well, because I don't have that much storage space. I do have some good storage space, but just not that much. They started talking geopolitics the moment they joined the Discord and started the project.
Are you?
No! No!
Are you joking?
No! No!
Are you joking me?
They can't just be normal, can they? Troon's not being a pain in the ass. When are they not being a giant pain in the ass? Fair enough. Yeah, but I mean, you know, they have to ruin everything. Either way, this preservation effort is important because Myriad. Let me see if I can get to. Yeah, so as they're saying, Myriad will shut down on March 31st, so download anything you care about. So, let's see. They said anything about why they're shutting down here? No. Okay, so they have made a statement somewhere, I don't know where it is, but they basically stated that they just can't afford to run this thing anymore, so that's why it's going down. But yeah, so it's a video game archive where you can download archived content, so archived games from their massive variety of collections for emulators, which is really nice. Unfortunately, they have to shut down. So I'm hoping that the Troons don't manage to ruin this, and that this Minerva project is able to preserve this. So, you know, give it a look if you can. Do make sure that you verify this script, by the way, before you use it, just to be safe. But, yeah. So, yeah, a little bit of somewhat good news, at least. And I think... Oh, man, I'm getting hungry. Telly from Retro Achievements was willing to join them to help out, so did others from the server, but they noped out once the political talks drowned out everything else.
Well, imagine my shock.
Yeah, that sucks, but... Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, this kind of preservation is really important. Oh, that's how you heard about everything? Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, this preservation is really important. Like, you know, preservation is something I personally really care about, right? So I'm willing to overlook that if they're at least doing a good job doing the actual preservation. Yeah. So I think that's where we'll call it for today. There, a lot of buttons. And I just realized I did this whole thing without my Alex Jones desk. So I'm disappointed in myself. The damn train is always there to fuck it up and make it about them. Yeah. I just realized I did this. I did the whole Iran thing and didn't even use my Alex Jones desk. So, you know, give me a recall.
Whoa, buddy!
You slammed that, yo. This.
Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard alert! Retard alert!
I was gonna stream tonight, then I saw lightning. Yeah, we had a bunch of lightning last night. Today it's just kind of depressing out. He's deskless. He's founted. Yeah. Oh well, you don't need the desk. Yeah, I just feel like sometimes it's more fun to pull it up when I do the more serious geopolitics type stuff. Yeah, I might try and clip the Iran segment as well. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today. I know the Melees are streaming Marathon later tonight. I see Paul is live. So yeah, you know what? We will raid out to Paul.
Oh, and one more thing, fucker. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah, so it's all right. Yeah. Thanks for streaming. Thanks for coming by, Wingus. Always appreciate you guys being here. Yeah, so we will raid out to Paul in a sec here. And just a little bit of housekeeping, by the way. It does look like I will be starting a job soon, so like an actual job. So these streams, I don't know exactly when it's going to start. Things are definitely going to be different by the time April rolls around. But yeah, so the schedule might be changing. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do. There will probably be a 1 or 2 week break between streams as well. Because, I'll need to figure out my timings and everything like that. Because it's going to be effectively a normal 9 to 5. Oh, I think someone just followed on Twitch. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow over there. Yeah. Congrats. Well, thank you, Fractured. Thank you. Job interview last week was real. Yeah. Yeah, no, that was not a joke. I actually did that was the reason I had to have Japonica host. And it just turned out to be perfect that that was the day we were going to do Woman Simulator. But, yeah. Oh, Paul's not starting yet? I see. Well, I mean, the stream is running, right? So at least we can raid to the stream itself running, because I know he keeps an eye on that. Look with the job. Well, thank you. Found Alaris, you got the replacement to say that name. Yeah, she's not that bright. She's not that bright. So that Japonica was a real person and not me impersonating one? Fracture, do you really think that for a practical joke, I would go through the trouble of designing a female avatar, building out the entire avatar, rigging it up, setting up custom animations and triggers in the VTuber software, finding an AI voice, coming up with a name, and all that just for an elaborate shitpost? Congrats. Well, thank you, Wingus. Take over the company. It's just a contract role. It's just a contract role. But, it means I'll have some money coming in, which is important. So, yes. Oh, you think I would? Well, who knows? You're welcome. Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, but I don't think we'll be seeing Japonica again unless I can get her to not bully me on stream. All right, let me So let me do this. Let me set up the raid here. All right, yeah. So we will raid Paul if I can find him on. Let me find him on YouTube as well. YouTube. Come on. There we go. Copy link. All right, so I will post that link in just a sec. Later. Yeah, you have a good one, Wingus. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys being here. Hopefully I'll be back at the same time next week. If not, I'll let you guys know. We'll see how everything plays out. Hopefully, yeah, at least rating on Rumble is easy. Yeah, and I don't have to have like a particular threshold of subscribers to actually do a raid. Congrats. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, so hopefully we'll be back the same time next week. If not, we'll see. But yeah, things will be changing at some point in the next few weeks. And yeah, I think that is it. So with that, I have a lovely evening. Make sure you also catch the marathon stream that Melee Games are doing tonight. And I will see you lovely people later.